Time is ticking away on Title 42 while the Biden administration claims they are prepared for the public health order to end this week. The southern border is facing a potentially historic migrant surge. Joining us now, House Energy and Commerce Committee member, Arizona Republican Congresswoman Debbie Lesko. Congresswoman, welcome to the program. Thank you so much for being here. Mayorkas is stating his case there that this administration is prepared for Title 42 to be lifted and that there are procedures in place to help deal with the rush. But we had Bill Malugin on reporting from Brownsville, Texas earlier, and all you see are the lines of people who are trying to get into this country because they know that it's going to be easier to do so. Can you tell me, what it is that they say that they've done that he says is going to take some time to play out and bear some fruit? Because I don't see it.
I don't see it either. And quite frankly, it's very hard to believe what Secretary of Department of Homeland Security Mayorkas says. I mean, he has continually said on TV and in public and to Congress that the border is secure. Well, every American, quite frankly, every person throughout the world knows that the border is open, and that's why they're coming. And so he's had, and the Biden administration has had 2 years to figure this out. They knew that eventually Title 42 was going to end. They don't have plans in place. The plans that they say that they're going to put in place, I quite frankly don't trust them, because in Yuma, Arizona, for over a year now, they said that they were going to fill in the wall gaps, the border wall gaps. And I talked to an official on the ground today. They said all that's been done is they laid some foundations in a couple places. No border wall gaps have been closed. And so it's really hard to believe this administration. Quite frankly, all of their actions to date have been to have an open border and to give the green light to people all over the world to come and cross our border.
On that note, amongst you and your colleagues, what does responsible immigration reform and more modern laws look like to you?
Well, this week in the U.S. House of Representatives, we are going to be passing a border security bill. And it includes a number of different things that will help secure the border and keep our nation safe and decrease the humanitarian crisis going on. The first one is to finish constructing the border wall. The second one is to increase the credible fear standard for asylum claims. So right now, the standard is so low that if people cross over the border and claim asylum, they're let into the United States. We need to increase the threshold for asylum claims. Another thing we're doing is ending catch and release so that people are either detained if they're crossing the border or they're turned back at the border. Another thing we're doing is reinstating the Remain in Mexico policy. So if people want to claim asylum, they can do so, but they need to either wait in Mexico or another safe country until their claims are processed. And so I think we are also in that bill increasing funding for the number of Border Patrol officers and giving them bonuses so that we can retain them on the job. Because right now their morale is so low, the Border Patrol officers, that they're given this job and they're not able to do the job because of the policies enacted by the Biden administration.
Congresswoman, let me shift gears really quickly. You recently sent a letter to the Consumer Product Safety Commission on protecting gas stoves, which is great because I think a lot of people want to keep their gas stoves. But the fact is, it's not just about gas stoves. Just today, we're talking about the federal government wanting to go after your dishwasher. And, a week ago, it was light bulbs. And before that, it was air conditioners. And I bet next week it'll be refrigerators because they're too big and they're too cold. It's bigger than gas stoves. What can you and your colleagues do to get in front of the bigger issue of the federal government wanting to insert itself in every single part of your home and your life?
Well, one of the major things the U.S. House of Representatives can do with Republicans can control is we have authority over the budget, right? And so this week coming, I will have the Secretary of Department of Energy in front of our committee. And so I'm going to ask her some questions about the gas stove and all of these rules that are being proposed by all of their agencies to eliminate natural gas and to make these energy efficiencies. And the manufacturers have said the products aren't going to work. They're not going to wash our clothes adequately. They're not going to wash our dishes adequately. And as you said, they're probably going after the refrigerators too, which I'm sure they are. This is an all-out war against consumer choice. They want to ban natural gas. They want to basically put us back into 1950s appliances, right. I think, or something. Although those probably worked better than what they're proposing. So I have passed legislation and I've written letters. And so we're passing my Save Our Gas Stoves Act. Yeah. Should be passing out of the U.S. House of Representatives sometime soon.
Congresswoman, thank you. Please ask some basic economic questions because they obviously don't get it. And that's got to be job number one. We got to leave it there. Congresswoman Lesko, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.